Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cognizant 2022 Healthcare Conference. Thank you for joining us today. I don't know if anybody just attended the keynote speaker that we had this morning, Carrie Lorenz, but I will say that as I'm very excited to be presenting here, but that is definitely a tough act to follow. So if you didn't catch it live, definitely catch the replay. My name is Preston, and I am here to speak to you about TriZetto University subscriptions, your season pass to product training and more. So thank you for joining us. It looks like we had great registration for this session. I checked this morning, we had over 50 people registered. So welcome, thanks for your interest in our subscription offering. And without further ado, I'm going to get started. Quick introduction to me. My name is Preston. I'm the AVP for Cognizant Learning Services. I'm responsible for the delivery arm of the organization. That's going to include all of our instructors, our training project managers, and our operations team. I have over 20 years of experience managing and delivering software and technical training programs. I've been fortunate to work for a number of successful companies and then traveled the world providing training and managing training programs. You can see my LinkedIn contact information there. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. My contact for training and training questions is training@cognizant.com. You can reach me there. And I also wanted to call out, I've got a crew behind the scenes here. Regina Reese, who is our Director of Operations, will be acting as the moderator today to manage the chat and any questions that come in through there. And we've also got Jim Morgan, who's going to be acting as my backup in case we have technical difficulties or something like that. But fingers crossed, we'll be smooth sailing. If you're not familiar with learning services, we provide product, technical, and end user training on the TriZetto suite of products. We offer a variety of different training services, including traditional instructor-led training and virtual instructor-led training. We also develop and host digital self-paced training on our TZU platform and provide a variety of training, consulting, and advisory services. We service health plan organizations and other clients, our consulting partners, as well as many Cognizant associates that we support internally. We have been recognized in the industry with Brandon Hall Awards for our customer training program, our learning technology, and our certification programs. I'm very proud to let you know that. All right, so let's get to the topic at hand. Subscriptions. They are all around us. I've got some, you can see from the screenshot here, some of the earliest digital entertainment subscriptions of Netflix, Prime, Hulu, etc. But since that explosion, we've seen a further increase in the number of subscriptions available, including service type subscriptions, product subscriptions such as book clubs and subscription boxes. So there's really been a proliferation of the subscription model across, not just the digital format, but other avenues as well. And I thought this would be a good way to kick off the session and just get you thinking about the subscription model in general and what are some of the benefits that it provides. So in order to make this a little bit more interactive, what I'm going to do is ask you to join the chat now. You will see that there is a button in the right-hand side of your screen at the top that will allow you to join the chat, and you can just click to join now. I'm just going to pose a couple questions to the group, and if you can respond via the chat, I'll have the moderator, Regina, share those answers with us, and we can get some I'd like to get some kind of input from you as we get started. As we go throughout the session, you can also use the chat to add questions at any time, and as time permits, we'll address those. So as we get into this, I'm just going to close out my video here and we'll get started. So the first question that I have for the group is, for you personally, how many subscriptions do you have? When you think about your digital entertainment subscriptions, any periodicals or magazines, any service subscriptions that you have, or crate boxes, things like that. I'd like to hear how you compare. So Regina, as the responses come in, if you just want to unmute and let me know. I'm curious to, people are probably starting to count and getting onto that second hand of, sometimes it seems like you have more than you think of.
So far I see 3, and it's not
Okay.
me. I
That's
see
right.
4 and 10,
Yep.
6. Yep. Yep. 7. Yeah.
That's pretty
So
good. Top is 7 so far.
top is 8.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. The top was 10.
Anybody want to try and beat 10? If you're still counting. So just for reference, I was looking at some statistics on subscriptions, and it as of 2020, a McKinsey survey indicated that the average number of subscriptions for a person in the US was 12. So sounds like we've got some room for growth here with this group. The second question that I have for you is, for those of you with subscriptions, which sounds like is most of you, if you could sum up in a word or a couple words, what is it about subscriptions that's appealing to you?
So I am seeing convenience.
Okay.
Uh-oh. I don't see any others right now. Always available.
Yeah.
Custom content. Always available when I want it. I control what I want to see and use.
Great. So control, maybe choice.
Quality of content. On demand. Flexibility.
All right, great.
Convenient.
So this is another area where I looked at some survey data, and some of the things that we're hearing are definitely what came up. So convenience, flexibility, choice, availability, and actually the number one thing that people said was appealing about subscriptions is something that hasn't been mentioned, or at least you haven't mentioned it yet, which is value. So as we go through this session, I'll be addressing, some of the things that you mentioned, and I'll also be addressing what is it about the TriZetto University subscription that provides value. All right, so let's get into talking specifically about our TriZetto University subscription offering. So I'll be covering what's included in the offering, how it's set up and administered. I'll go through the pricing and give you some examples for comparison, so you can compare it to other training offerings that we have available. And then I'll wrap up just by summarizing some of the feedback that we've received from our subscribers so far. All right, so the first thing I want to cover is what's included in a TriZetto University subscription. And here is where I want to get up. If there's one takeaway that I can leave you with, it is that I would ask for you to take with you after leaving this session. There's one important difference with our subscription offering than with many other learning subscriptions. And that is, we provide multiple ways to learn. Many of the learning subscriptions that are available today are limited to on-demand e-learning only. The TriZetto University subscription is going to include access to instructor-led training. That means live instructors online delivering classes that you can attend. To me, that really is a significant differentiator and provides options for people whose primary learning preference may not be e-learning. Maybe they want to have the option of attending a live instructor-led class. We also, of course, include our access to our self-paced learning, and we include access to our hands-on lab environments. There's some additional benefits that I'll mention a little bit later, but to me, these are really the primary multiple ways of learning. So this is learning from others, learning from our certified product experts, learning on your own through self-paced digital modules, and then finally, learning through hands-on practice, which as somebody in the training industry, we've just heard it time and time again. I learn best when I'm doing it, when I'm in the system, doing it myself. So with those three components, we're really trying to provide a full spectrum of opportunities for different learning preferences and styles. So I'll drill down into each of these a little bit more. For our instructor-led training courses, we offer a regular schedule of our most popular courses, including our foundations courses. That schedule is available on the Customer Exchange portal. If you're familiar with Customer Exchange, you can go take a look at it after the session and check out what courses we have available. It's easy to register online by contacting us at our training email address, or you can register directly in TriZetto University as a subscriber. I mentioned previously, all the instructors that train these courses are product certified for the products that they teach. As a participant, you will receive a comprehensive set of training materials, including a participant guide. You'll have access to hands-on labs during the training that are guided exercises and scenarios for you to complete as part of the course. And if you look at the schedule and you don't see the course that you're looking for, you can always reach out to us and request it. We do our best to schedule based on demand where the interest is. But if we don't hear from you, we won't know. So definitely reach out if there's something you'd like to see on the schedule. We will do our best to get it on there. And as a TriZetto University subscriber, there aren't any hard limits on your attendance. If you take a class, you get something out of it, and then the next month or a couple months later, you want to take a different class, learn a different product, or maybe take something that's more advanced or technical, you can jump in on that. As long as your subscription is active, we're not counting seat credits or anything like that. As long as there is availability in the session that you want to join, we're happy to have you join, and there's no additional cost for that. Regina, I just want to take a quick check and see if there's any questions in the chat that we want to address. All right, great.
There are no questions in the chat at the moment.
Terrific. All right. So I mentioned our on-demand lab environments. So as a subscriber, you can request access to, we have shared environments that we use that we allow subscribers to access. So this is going to be based in the cloud in our Azure infrastructure. And it just gives you a safe space to practice. Maybe you just want to explore the menus, get comfortable with the application, or you want to test something out. This allows you a safe space to learn on our generic training environment as opposed to any of your environments that you may have in-house. Currently, this is available for Facets and QNext. I mean, we're certainly happy to, if there's another product that you wanted to inquire about, we're happy to hear from you, but that's what's available today. So these are available on a temporary basis, meaning you request access and we'll provide you access. Your access will be granted for 2 weeks, and then you can always re-up and request additional time if needed. But we use the time-based model just to ensure that everybody has an opportunity to get access to the environments, and they're not being held up by folks who aren't using them. All right, and then our self-paced product training. So for many years, we've been investing in developing in and improving our self-paced product training. You can see some example screenshots here of the courses that we have available. We've got self-paced modules available for Facets, QNext, Networks, Care Advance, TCS, that's our letters, TriZetto communication system, and the Elements suite for government programs, including EDM, which is Encounter Data Manager. all of our self-paced modules are presented by our team of instructors. So you're going to see demonstrations and examples led by our instructors. You can see here's George here, one of our Facets technical trainers. There is a wide and growing variety of self-paced product training for these products. And again, this is something that we'd love to hear your feedback and suggestions about new courses that you'd like to see. If you want to check out the specific courses that are available, you can check out our course catalog on customer exchange, and any courses that are marked or designated as digital will be available as part of your TZU subscription, as long as that product is covered under your product license. So it's an important thing to mention is if you are, for example, a Facets and Care Advance client, or you use Facets and Networks, your subscription will automatically include any products for which you're licensed. There aren't separate subscriptions for each product. You don't have to add on additional fees or additional courses that will be set up automatically as part of the administration process on our side. All right. In addition to our product training, we have recently expanded significantly some non-product offerings that are available currently only to TriZetto University subscribers. The first is our library of business skills training. So we've added over 160 courses. This is through our third-party provider, which is Articulate. The topics include customer success. We have leadership skills training, IT, and general training on things like health and wellness, and more topics available. Those are all going to be included and available for you to take on demand as part of your TriZetto University subscription. In addition to the business skills training, and this is something I'm really excited about, and we've had a lot of interest in this, is our healthcare fundamentals program. So we've actually, I want to plug this because we have a separate session tomorrow afternoon, which is a client panel to discuss the development of our healthcare fundamentals and foundations digital learning program. The first module or the first track in this program is the fundamentals, and this is going to take you through all the basics of the U.S. healthcare system. You can see the list of topics here. I won't read it out loud for you, but give you a chance to take a look at that for a second. It's going to include all of these modules, either between an hour and hour and a half, followed by the optional, I should say, foundation healthcare exam, in case you're not a test person. But there's a lot to be learned there, and this is something that we just find there's been a lot of interest from clients who had a tremendous registration for the session tomorrow, and it's not too late to register if you want to learn more about that program. So fundamentals or the U.S. healthcare training, again, is going to be included as part of your subscription, access to all these modules, and we have, I should say, big plans for the future for this. I got permission to share our roadmap here for the rest of the year. So the healthcare fundamentals is out now, and that's available and accessible now. I believe that we have just released or are about to release the commercial centers of excellence that was due in May. So I'm pretty sure that that's available. And then got another module on government programs coming out next month. And you can see that there's additional tracks being developed throughout the rest of this year and into early next year. So as these become available, they will you'll automatically have access to them as a TZU subscriber. So I think what we're hearing from clients is, it's a tough talent market. It is hard to bring in qualified and experienced people. So when you're bringing in someone from outside of healthcare, you need to get them up to speed. And it's not something that, all organizations have necessarily an established, suitable plan to get those folks familiar with the healthcare industry. So that's the niche that we're trying to fill with this program. So we're very excited about it. And again, I'm just thrilled that we've decided to make it part of the subscription program. All right. And Regina, if there's no questions about this, I'm going to keep moving along.
There is a question, Aaron. The
Sure.
question is, if we had a subscription from a prior conference and have not used it in a while, is it still active?
That's a great question. I would want to take a look at that from a just look up your account and verify what the dates and if it's still active. So if you can reach out to us at TriZetto Training at Cognizant.com, we'll have someone look at that for you right away and either get you set up, or we can give you pricing for a new subscription if your subscription isn't currently active. Great question. All right.
The other question was, I missed which topic you told us to register for tomorrow. So.
Great. So for tomorrow from 4 to 5 p.m., we are going to be, Learning Services will be hosting a client panel. It's called The Next Best Thing. And it is about our development of the healthcare program training. And so we're going to have a few clients there. We'll have Kern, we'll have El Paso, and we'll have a guest from New Mexico State University who we've been partnering with on some of the planning and strategizing for this. And I'll actually recap that at the end of the session so you can see. I'll give you a list of the rest of our sessions for the conference. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to cover here is the setup and administration of the TZU subscription. And from a user side or a client administrator side, it's relatively straightforward and simple. Just want to take you through that so you know what to expect. So the first thing that happens when we set up a new TriZetto University subscription is we will, if you haven't had a subscription before, we'll create a custom portal for you. So that means you're going to have a login screen and a portal homepage that will have your organization's logo and branding. So it looks familiar. We'll work with you to get your list of users. So it could be from a single user all the way up to 1,000 users. But we have a template that makes it easy to collect and send us and upload your list of users for the subscription. Just some basic information that we need to get those users registered. And this typically only takes a day or so. You have the option, as if you are a client administrator, either a manager or a leader, you're responsible for a team that will have subscription access. You have the option to assign specific courses. You can also assign due dates if you want folks to be completing courses by a specific time period. Or another approach, which many clients take, is you just allow users to search and locate the training that they need on their own. The training is easily navigable through our menu system and search tools. So it's usually pretty easy to find what you're looking for. And then as subscribers start using the system, we'll provide tools and reports so that you can monitor the utilization. So there's an online dashboard you can use. We'll also work with you if there's custom reporting that you need, or you want to track progress on assigned courses. We'll work with you to provide that information. And then at any point throughout this process, we have a TZU support team that is at the ready to answer questions, assist with issues, password resets, things like that. Even if you've lost the link and you don't know how to get to TZU anymore, just as long as you have that TZU support email, and that's tzusupport@cognizant.com. So as you use the subscription, you may find out, and this has happened a number of places where, or organizations where you have maybe a small number of subscriptions, and people find out and say, hey, what do you got there? What are you doing? Are you learning about TriZetto products or facets? That looks handy. The word gets around is what I'm saying. And we make it as easy as we can for you to add subscribers. So if you start out with 5 users and you realize actually you have 8 people that are interested and want to get access, we make it easy to add subscribers without having to go through a new contracting process. It is I mentioned earlier in the session that it's a tough talent market. And I know a lot of organizations are struggling with attrition. It's a fact that people leave. What you can know and rest assured is that if someone has a subscription and they leave your organization, we make it really easy to transfer their subscription to a new user. So in 2 ways, that benefits you. One is you're not wasting money on a subscription that is for somebody who left. And then presumably you're going to want to get their replacement up to speed as soon as possible. So having the ability to provide that new hire on day 1 with access to a full training portal for TriZetto products is just going to give you that additional advantage when you're trying to catch up from the loss of having someone leave.
And there is a question on subscription.
Great.
The resource wants to know if people can enroll in subscriptions even if they don't work in a health plan.
That's a great question. So we do have subscription access available through our consulting partner program. So if you are an individual that works for a organization that provides services to our clients, then you can find out more about, and you can reach out to us at the training email and we can connect you with the right folks to learn more about the consulting partner program. But outside of the consulting partner program, we don't have subscriptions available for just individual users who are not affiliated with our clients or our partners.
There's another question, Aaron.
Great.
How can we find out who manages subscriptions for our organization?
That is a great question. And I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I'm going to say the easiest, quickest way to find out is just to reach out to us at the training email. You can either use training@cognizant.com or TriZetto training@cognizant.com. They'll both go to the same team, and that's my delivery team. And somebody will just look up who your subscription administrator is if you do have an active subscription. Any more? For the moment, we're getting some good questions here. All right.
They just want to know what is the training URL, and I know you're going to provide that at the end of your presentation.
I will provide that at the end. You can also put it in the chat.
I will do that.
That would
Thank
be great.
you.
Thank you. All right. So again, with flexibility, sometimes someone doesn't need to leave for your needs to change. So we allow up to 3 annual reassignments per subscription account. So sometimes someone's, job responsibilities will change, or they'll complete the training that they needed. Maybe they didn't need a significant amount of training. They just wanted to check a few things out. Maybe you have somebody who comes along who needs it more. So we try and be as flexible as possible, allow you up to 3 reassignments. And that really, I think, allows you to maximize the subscription as your needs change, right? So the priority for who needs access today may not be the same as what your needs are in 6 months. So again, the process for this is relatively straightforward. Shoot an email over to TZU support, let them know that, this user is going to be shut down as of this date and you want to replace them with someone else, and we'll get it set up. All right. And then we do offer the subscriptions on a 12-month term. So the minimum term is 12 months for a subscription. We make it easy to renew. We can either set up automatic renewals if you prefer. If you don't need it anymore, you simply let it expire after the 12 months. And there's no additional, no complicated cancellation process or hoops to jump through. You just let it expire and don't renew. And that in itself, it provides a level of flexibility. We've seen some clients who have purchased a subscription, they've let it lapse, and then maybe a few months or a year later, they come back and they realize that they need the subscription again. So we'll set up a new subscription agreement with them. All right. Any more questions about the setup, administration, how it works before I move on and talk about the pricing a bit?
And I don't have any other questions right now.
Okay, terrific. All right, so I want to share some information on pricing with you. This won't cover every scenario, so depending on how many subscribers you have or how many terms you want to sign up for, that your pricing that's provided to you may be slightly different, but I'll start with some, basic comparisons just for examples. For an individual, meaning an individual person who needs training, if they wanted to attend a class, and if you're familiar with our catalog, most of our foundations classes are about 5 days. So I'm going to use an example of a 5-day class. You can sign up for our instructor-led online training. There's a fee of $700. That's per person per day. So if you were to sign up for one of our, QNext product foundations or Facets technical foundations, the fee would be $3,500 per person for attendance at that one instructor-led class. When we compare that with a TriZetto University subscription, we'll see a familiar number here. So for $3,500 per person, you will get a full year TriZetto University subscription. That's going to include the instructor-led online training. So you'll be able to take that QNext Foundations or Facets technical class that's described on the left. You're also going to get access to all the e-learning for the products for which you're licensed. And you'll be able to download training materials. You can request a lab environment, and you'll get access to other social learning features that are part of the platform. So we're really trying to provide, this pricing is intentionally trying to provide the best possible value so that the TriZetto University subscription becomes a no-brainer. We think it's a great model. It makes things easier for us to provide additional content like that healthcare foundations and the business skills training that I was mentioning. Rather than trying to manage and sell all those things individually, we can provide it directly through the portal to our subscribers. That lowers our costs, and it allows us to offer this at a great value to you. So if we look at a group scenario, okay, and you can read the fine print here that I've added. When you purchase 10 or more subscriptions for 10 or more users, that's when you're going to start to see a discounted rate. So that $3,500 fee is going to go down as you get to 10 and above. So for a group subscription, let's say you get a group of, you have a group of 10 subscriptions that you purchase. You will get the group discounted rate of $3,150 for each of those, for a total of $31,500. Okay. Now, remembering that you can swap each of those subscriptions up to 3 times if you have additional users, if you were to maximize that aspect or that benefit of the subscription, you could potentially get up to 40 people trained for less than $800 per person. Now, if we compare that to some of the one-time training offerings that we have, again, it's the same great training. It's just a different model and different way of purchasing it. Our private training, a single 5-day class. This is a virtual instructor-led class. Assuming a class size of 12, works out to about $2,300 per person. Attending the public training, and again, as I just mentioned before, $700 a day for 5 days, $3,500 per person. So getting to that under 1,000 mark is really where it really becomes, I think a powerful value. All right. So any questions about pricing before I move on to our next session here, or our next section?
No questions, Aaron.
Okay, great. And there are additional tiers beyond 10. So if you have a group of 25 or 50 and you want to take a look at that, just reach out to us and we'll work with your account team to get your proposal. What I
have a question.
Okay, great. See, I knew it. I knew they were just.
So let me get back there. The question is, you mentioned certifications. Are they available in TZU subscription, or is that an additional fee?
That is a great question. So we have I did not have time. I'm actually glad you brought this up because I wasn't sure I was going to remember to add this at the end. But we just formally approved internally, after I had prepared my deck, we approved that we would include access to all of our knowledge certification exams, meaning the online written exams will be included, and will be included as part of the subscription. So there'll be no additional fee. You'll be able to take any of those written certification exams for any of the products for which they're available. And we're still working out, finalizing the list of everything that's available. So that's not going to be, that's not something I can share with you today, but we have made the decision. So all of the written online certification exams will be available through TriZetto University subscriptions. And we will continue to have hands-on practical, a limited number of hands-on practical certifications, and those will be the hands-on proctored exams will be separate. Those would be available on an a la carte basis. So stay tuned for more information, but I can confirm that we will be providing certifications, and the online certifications are, fully robust, rigorous exams. And when you pass, you will get a certificate. You'll get a certified logo that you can use, a badge that you can use on your email. Great question. Thank you. All right. So I had mentioned in our initial conversation about the benefits of the subscription, and the top reported benefit was value. That was what was most important to people when opting into a subscription. And to me, what that means is it doesn't matter how affordable it is or how much we lower the price. If people don't like it and they don't use it, it's not a value. So I wanted to close out just by sharing some of the metrics and some of the comments that we've had from subscribers. And this data is all from this year. I know some folks may be familiar. We've had this the subscription offering out for several years now, and we've seen great growth and success and response. But the data that I'm going to share is just from this year for the next few slides. Our customer satisfaction metric on the course materials is 97% positive. For our instructors, it's 99%. When we ask people if the training that they obtain or receive through the TriZetto University subscription is going to have a positive impact on their job performance, 95% positive response. To me, that is just the most meaningful there, right? We've all taken a lot of training. It's just something that occurs and is a regular part of what we do. And unfortunately, sometimes there's a lot of throwaway content. Doesn't necessarily you have to go through a lot of training to get the information that you need. And so when I see the score here, it's something I'm particularly proud of. Another score or another metric that we track closely is our Net Promoter Score. For those of you who are not familiar with that, that is when you get asked the survey question of would you recommend this to someone else, and you rate it on a 10-point scale, that is Net Promoter. So for our digital self-paced training, we have a Net Promoter Score of 92, which is fantastic. And for the virtual instructor-led, it's 96. So this just means that a vast majority of users of our subscription service would recommend it to someone else. If you're not a numbers person, then I wanted to include just a couple of quick quotes that subscribers have provided this year. I'll give you a moment to read this. So we got this feedback from a client who participated in one of our virtual instructor-led training sessions for Networks Pricer. And this speaks to me to that impact on job performance metric, right? This is how we have a meaningful impact on plan operations through changing people's understanding of the product, helping them understand how it works, how to configure and use it as it's designed. I'll share just one other quote. So this is feedback on one of our facets, self-paced digital courses. And this, you can imagine I'm tremendously proud of seeing that, this kind of feedback. This is what we strive for. And it's great to know that, certainly we've helped thousands of new users get up to speed by providing them the foundational training they need to learn the basics. But it's really rewarding to see that we're still able to provide value to experienced users that have maybe learned on their own, haven't been through formal training. Now they're getting the opportunity to, and we're able to fill in some of those gaps or questions or expose them to new functionality that they weren't aware of.
Aaron, there is a question if you're ready to take it.
I am, yes, please.
Okay, the question is approximately how many clients currently have a subscription?
That's a great question. So let me use that to transition into the next slide. So as far as active subscription clients now, the 70 represents the total of subscription clients who have purchased a subscription at one time. Some of those have lapsed and been renewed. Some of those have lapsed and not been renewed, at least for the time being. I believe that our current subscriber organization count is around 40 that we have active right now. And that's going to include 800 users, or there's 800 unique subscriber individuals since launch, and 6,500 individual course enrollments from those users. All right, and we have subscriptions that vary from, I mentioned, a single user all the way up to hundreds of users for a single organization. All right, so as we start to wind down the presentation here, I hope you're not scratching your chin any longer wondering what's included in the TriZetto University subscription. I hope that I have answered that for you. And ideally, you are jumping with joy and pumping your fist in the air, all smiles, because you know that your subscription would include access to instructor-led training, the self-paced learning modules, access to our lab and training lab environments. You saw from the feedback that I shared that it's highly rated and recommended by our existing subscribers. You know that it's easy to set up, manage, and renew if you choose to renew. And that hopefully most of all, you see that it is an excellent value for your training budget, which we know is going to be can be limited. If you're in a situation where it's getting to the end of the year and you realize you have additional training dollars that are not spent, a subscription is a fantastic way to make sure that those dollars don't go to waste and get taken away in next year's budget. So here's the email, and I believe that Regina put this in the chat as well, but this will be in the presentation, which you can download as a takeaway. But please do reach out to us if you have any questions about the subscription offering. This is a general training inbox, so if you're interested in some of our other training offerings and services, please feel free to reach out. Before I let you go, I do want to just share that we've got some other training and learning themed sessions. We've got today, this afternoon, a session on end user training, positioning your organization for success. That starts in just a half hour or so. And then tomorrow, we've got a session on managing change through business process documentation in the afternoon. And then later on is the session that I mentioned earlier, which is the next best thing. It's Healthcare Foundation's digital program. And that's a panel discussion with some of our clients who are involved in the planning and development of that program. So I hope that I want to thank you for joining today. And I'll just pop my camera back on so I can say in person. So thank you so much for joining the session today. I really appreciate your attendance and your participation. I hope that you join us again for some of our other learning services sessions. And most of all, enjoy the conference, take care, and be safe. Thank you very much. If there's any final questions, I'm happy to take them now. Otherwise, I will let you go. Regina, anything left that we want to address?
No questions have come in, so I think we're all set.
All right. Hey, thanks everybody. Appreciate your time and take care of yourself.